Show up. Don't show off. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Today I'm going to recount a story, well, maybe a couple stories, of how I've been knocked down in my life due to the fact that I was trying to show off. And there's a big reason why you wouldn't want to do that. And let me just give you some of the background. So initially, this was one of the first times I remember it happening very crystal clear. So in kindergarten, every great once in a while, we got to play at the big kids swing set and slide. We were at a school that had kind of a separation between kindergarten and the whole rest of the school. And the rest of the school always got to play on the big slide and the big swings and all that in the jungle gym. Well, this one particular time we got to go out there. It was some special day for some reason. And we got to go out there and play on all the big kids stuff. This was fabulous. This was a lot of fun. And I always had a lot of fun just messing around. I was one of those kids. I was always in the middle of it. So everyone was taking their turns on the big slide, and this slide just seemed enormous. It seemed 10 feet tall. When you're a little kid, you go back and look at it when you're older, it's not that big, but it seemed just huge. But it was great. We all loved it. I've never had a fear of heights or anything like that, so I went to the top and went down. Yeah, that was fun. And then I started noticing kids doing funny things off of the slide. Going backwards, going down on their stomach, doing this, doing that. I said, oh, okay. I think I can do it if I just kind of lay my legs over the side, and I'm going to try something else. I'm going to, and it was a specific thing. I was specifically doing it for the reason to show off. I was trying to get attention. And the first time I tried it, I don't know what exactly happened, but I was at the very top of the slide, and somehow I got to the bottom, but it wasn't the bottom of the slide. It was off the edge of the slide at the very top. I fell straight down, knocked the wind out of me, which I had never remembered that happening up till that point. It was freaked me out, because if you ever had the wind knocked out of you, you want to breathe, but you can't quite get it going and get the breathing going. So I was freaked out because of that. They came, they helped me, they dusted me off. It wasn't anything, my ego was bruised more than anything else. But I was shocked. I never had that type of life flash before your eyes type situation before. And that was something else. And it was very clear idea to me. I got taught a lesson on not showing off. And you'd think I would learn, but in time, in years going forward, and there were different situations like this. Another one that sticks out in my mind in the past. This is in the probably 80s, probably mid to late 80s. They had playgrounds at McDonald's. And they had them at all the McDonald's, had playgrounds, which is why all the kids loved McDonald's. So you got the Happy Meal in the playground. It was a mini Disneyland to go to McDonald's. And we had one in town with a pretty good playground. And one of the things they had there was this large burger that everyone could sit in. And it was like a teacup from Disneyland, where you could turn it and then spin the whole thing around. It had the wheel in the middle that you could turn, and you just spin it and the thing would spin in circles. Oh man, lots of fun. You can go and look one of these things up. I know they don't have them anymore, and my story could be a reason why. We were getting going, and we just loved spinning this thing. I was one of those kids. I loved getting dizzy. I was kind of a daredevil, and so we just loved doing it. And pretty soon, some of the adults saw that we were liking this, and I think they were adults. I was still pretty young. This could have been first, second grade, something like that, and one of the parents, and it was at a birthday party. Someone had their birthday party at McDonald's, which people did back then, okay. And we were at a birthday party, and one of the parents thought it'd be fun to spin us just a hand move from the outside and spin the thing as fast as you could, because kids can only get it going so fast. And so very few people stayed in. I was one of the ones that stayed in. They spun it for a while, and then some of the kids said, no, let me off. And they got off. And I'm like, okay, if I can hang in here, I'm gonna have all the fame and everything from hanging in there. It was only me and a couple other kids that hung in there. Well, this particular parent or uncle or whatever, they probably weren't even older than 20, but to me this was an adult. This was an adult doing this, so nothing will go wrong. But they were giving it their all, man. They were spinning that thing as fast as it could, where it would still stand still. And sure enough, as soon as I lost my grip on whatever I could get my hands on, there's not much to hold on to in that thing. Especially the only thing that you could hold on to was the middle, but the middle isn't spinning. That's the one thing that's, relativity. It's moving, so you can't really grab onto it. And the chair was just a big plastic round thing. There's nothing to hold on to. Sure enough, spun right out. Centrifugal force flew me off in the air quite a distance away. Once again, got the wind knocked out of me, a little trend. And I was out of it for a moment, but I realized, okay, there's a connection. For some reason, every time I get the wind knocked out of me, I get something. And I've gotten times when I had gotten beaten up and everything else. It all comes back to showing off. For me, it's always been one of those things that I've had to be extremely careful of. Is showing off, is trying to be something that I'm not, trying to make myself into something that I wasn't quite yet. It's not that I couldn't learn how to do tricks off a slide, or I couldn't learn how to hold on to but it's wanting to push it beyond its normal means. And I've learned it over and over in my life. And the best thing is, if you've had a situation like this, I'd love to hear about it. But I've seen that the best way to handle difficult situations is just be honest and say, not for me. This is not for me. I'm just not comfortable with it. Not going in that direction. Not that you shouldn't try new things, and not that you shouldn't be uncomfortable. But when there's a danger element to something, or something that is unwise to move forward with, learn how to step back and say, not yet. Let me learn how to do this first before I act like I know how to do it. And it's served me well. Sometimes people still want to put you up on a pedestal and expect things from you that you can't do, or that you can't do as well as others. But that you can't do anything about that. All you got to do is just be honest with people and say, this is what I'm able to do. This is my direction. I'm going to do what I can for you. So it's worked well for me. If you'd like to be able to talk about your business sometime, I know this is something that isn't directly related to business, but anything that has to do with people has to do with business, and anything that has to do with how you handle yourself has to do with how you handle your business. And so I'm a business strategist. If you'd like to talk sometime about your business, you're welcome to watch some of the other videos to get more direct business advice. But you can find more information over at the Amazon Proof Strategy session at brianjpombo.com. That's at brianjpombo.com/Amazon. You can find that link in the description. You go click on it. And we'll be back here tomorrow. You have a great night. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.